It is Wednesday, January 24th, 2024, and we are out in the field today to observe activity at Tortola's most dangerous yet still very popular beaches on the North Shore, namely Josiah's Bay and Smuggler's Cove. Red flags indicate danger. It is recommended to never swim when a red flag is flying. On the day in question, the beach safety advisory informed of a large northeast swell, wind force 4 to 5, with gusts force 6. It advised extreme care on all North Shore beaches due to high surf and rip currents. At Josiah's Bay, our team was unsure whether the lack of swimmers that day were a result of persons heeding the advisory or due to the rain experienced that morning. Conversation with people there suggested the latter and compounded previous reports that the beach had been growing in popularity as a stop of cruise ship visitors and day trippers. At Smuggler's Cove, our arrival coincided with that of 2 loads of tourists and a period of no rain, after which, despite 2 red flags in visible positions on the beach and visibly poor conditions, we observed people getting into the water, one going as far as to signal their group to the presence of a lifeguard, only one of 2 in the territory, and the only one on the beach that day before getting in. We also observed children left unattended at various points while playing in sloped sand away from their presumed guardian as large waves crashed on the shore. While those were our observations, what else is being said on the issue? A report by the Sister Islands unit of the Office of the Deputy Governor that was leaked to the press in January 2023 reflected on the worrying situation surrounding a lack of lifeguards at the Baths National Park, a site known for having large groups of visitors at any given time. The report said, quote, "In 2022, Virgin Islands Fire and Rescue confirmed over 30 emergency calls at the Baths National Park. Seeing sometimes over 1,000 guests a day on cruise ship call days, it is imperative that lifeguards are placed at this location when the national park is open. However, there was a full plan developed for this program, but never implemented due to a lack of resources," end quote. The international community has also reflected on the matter in various forums. One instance is found on the BVI's Wikipedia page, which states, quote, "Unusually, the territory has one of the highest drowning mortality rates in the world, being higher than other high-risk countries such as China and India. 20% of deaths in the BVI during 2012 were recorded as drownings, all of them being tourists. Despite this, the territory's most popular beaches still have no lifeguard presence," end quote. As growth of the BVI's tourism product continues, beach safety and local capacity to respond to a large-scale emergency remains a concern. In a recent interview with 284 Media, Junior Minister for Culture and Tourism, the Honorable Luce Hodge-Smith, reflected on the importance of safety for the tourism sector. While she couldn't go into detail in some instances, she said that work continues to build capacity within local agencies.
That is a very important aspect of it, safety, for sure, because you do want to be able to address the needs of people should there be such a major emergency. And I can't tell you exactly what the plans are now, but I do recognize that it's something that we need to address very, very soon in terms of having our emergency plans in place. I know through DDM, they encourage all ministries and all departments to have their emergency plans in place. So we definitely need a national or territorial emergency plan. And it's something that we definitely need to work on to ensure that, all our I's are dotted and T's are crossed in the event of an emergency.
Highlighting the continued efforts of the Department of Disaster Management, the junior minister stressed the importance of having stakeholders involved in emergency preparedness activities.
And the DDM, they do have, simulation exercises so that persons are readily available. For example, if there's a tsunami, they set up tsunami exercises where persons know where to go if there's a tsunami. I just have to find out if the hoteliers now and our industry people are involved in these exercises. And if they are not, then we have to ensure that they too have emergency plans in the event of emergency. And of course, we know that the airport BVI Airports Authority, they do exercises from time to time, simulation exercises from time to time, where they set up their command center, emergency command center, and have a simulation exercise. So the simulation exercises are happening.
Recently, Fire Chief Zebulon McLean addressed the Standing Finance Committee on the untenable risks posed by lifeguard understaffing. It is generally recommended to have at least one lifeguard per 20 to 25 swimmers at beaches. With more tourists flocking to the territory's most dangerous beaches, the risk of drownings and injuries raises substantially without proper supervision. Reports are that the one day prior to our Smuggler's Cove visit, beachgoers observed several rescues and near emergencies as the single lifeguard attended to a large crowd of visitors. Hod Smith said plans are in the works to address the lifeguard shortage.
I think we need to focus a bit more, though, on the lifeguards on our beaches. And that will come in place because we will be working on a beach management plan. And that, of course, will include having more lifeguards coming on board, because it's so important, it's so essential, especially during the time when we're experiencing the ground season. The ground season could be very dangerous, and for the tourists to understand, even if there isn't a lifeguard, and that doesn't equate to say that if there isn't a lifeguard on the beach, the flags are there, getting them to understand and promote the importance of understanding the symbols of the flags, what they mean when they're hoisted on the beach in the absence of a lifeguard. And the flags by no means substitute for having a lifeguard. So it is something that we definitely have to pay much closer attention to and have the proper lifeguard in place.
Jhaka Wooding, Tweet4 News.